This week we're going to be working with Inspiration. You can either download a free trial off of the Inspiration website, which I have included in the assignments page that has detailed instructions on the specifics of what you're supposed to include in your concept mapping assignment, or you can apply to use their web Inspiration, which is a web-based version of the Inspiration. Either way, this is a 30-day trial on both of them. So at the very end of this particular tutorial, I'm going to give you the ability to be able to save your Inspiration map as either a PDF or a Word document, which will be part of the requirement for you to upload it to your assignment page on your website. So you'll have both versions. You'll have the ISF, which is the extension for the Inspiration application, and you'll have either a Word document attachment or a PDF, and those are required. You will need to have both. I need to be able to see how your Inspiration map is constructed, and I can't do that if you provide only a Word document or a PDF. So you need to have the actual Inspiration mapping program so I can look at that. So once you've downloaded either the trial version or you're using the web-based version, you should be able to click on the icon and it'll open up and it'll look just like this, and it offers you the ability to go back and work on one, to learn how to use, to do an outline, which Inspiration is really good because a concept mapping program is a really great way, a visual tool for students to be able to construct an outline for writing a research paper. It gives them a better comprehension of what goes into a specific paper. So it's not just a tool to make, what people think are more like organizational charts. It's actually a great tool to do some graphic organizers and to build your lesson. So in the assignments, you do have the very specifics of what you need to have. You can go to the templates, which is where I typically go, and they have language arts, and if you click on that, it'll give you quite an array of different pieces, and the same thing would be applied to science, social studies, thinking and planning, or you can just do the basic map. Now keep in mind that the ones that they've provided you here are ones that are for 3 main content areas, so it's not going to be all of the different content areas. So using the basic map might be a little easier to develop your own thoughts, or you can browse online for templates, although I'm not sure on the free version or the trial version if they will give you access to that, but you certainly can try. So I'm just going to open up the basic one, and I click on open. As you can see, it comes up with a middle box, and that's the central idea. Looking at the assignment, you need to have a very clear idea of what it is that you are going to begin with. You can't begin from the out and work in. You've got to be able to work from a central idea about what you're going to be teaching. So if I was going to teach about how to, let's just call it build a map, okay? So that's my central idea. Now you need to be able to identify the standards for your content that you're working on. So if this was a geographical map, then I would be looking at standards relating to geography. If this was a map, of any, just a concept map for how to build an Inspiration, there's the technology standards, which you have to have along with the content standards. So I can click on this and add another piece over here. As you can see, it keeps on adding us. These are subtopics. I can always go back and undo whatever I've done. So if I don't like what it's looking like, I can just undo it. I can also collapse it all and then show the topics again. So that little arrow is just to collapse it so you just see your theme. It's going to hide the subtopics. So you have to have at least 15 to 20 bubbles, and you have to have images. You have to have 3 resources, one of which is your own audio recording that you will include after you have completed your map. And I will show you how to get to that. With the central ideas, there's a box over here that shows you several different images that you can use. You can bring in your own if you so desire. It's really up to you. There are so many different things. It's amazing. You can go to the new symbol library and it'll bring in, if you added it in, or you could go to the ideas they have here. Like I wanted, let's say if I'm building a map to how a barn could be constructed. So if I was going to build that, I could go into animals. If I was building a map that was how to get from my house to your house, or from school, my house to the school, you can build all kinds. I just put build a map as just a placeholder there. If it's going to be geographies, the actual geography, I could go into countries and landmarks. Now, as you can see over here, it gives me a whole bunch of different countries and landmarks. So if I wanted to click on this, I can go ahead then and move this around. And as you see, the map, or the picture went over my build a map, which is not what I want. I want it to be somewhere to one of the subtopics. So as trial and error, you just keep on clicking it until you've gotten rid of what you don't want. So if this is where I want the actual image, it would go right there. Now, as you can see, the box below allows me to add text. So for every image, you still need to want to add text. You don't just want to include an image and not give some text. So if I was saying that this was the place we were going to, I would say, you know, stop number 1 on our trip. So as I continue on, I can add over here again. And let's say that I want to do landmarks too, because this is actually, as I'm thinking of my topic, I'm thinking, well, build a map doesn't really describe 100% what my theme, what the whole idea of this map is. What I really want to say is this: build a map of a vacation. So I go back to here, and this could be stop number 2 on our trip. So you kind of get the idea of building this out. And again, you need to include all of the required components that are on the assignment list. One of the things that is probably the most overlooked is that you need those web resources, which can be a video and audio. It has to be at least one video. The audio needs to be your overall interpretation of what you've done, and then the other two are resources. So they can be web-based resources. They can be resources that you have located ahead of time. So to add, to insert a hyperlink, you would click on this, and you need to have your hyperlink ready before you actually go in and start looking for it. It doesn't allow you to browse unless you're doing a file, in which case it'll allow you to select the file. So your resource can be an attachment, one of the resources. So if it was explicit instructions on how you are to get to the point B, C, or whatever you're doing, that could be one of the attachments. If it is a web page, it's going to be the web address, and then you would just click OK, and this would be active. If I'm going to add video or audio, then I can do a sound file, and it initializes QuickTime, because Inspiration and QuickTime work hand in hand. So, and especially with those who might be using a Mac, on the Inspiration website, they do provide you the ability to find the correct version to work with your Mac. So you can use a Mac. Again, it's going to come up with any files I have, and these are all sound files. So as you can see, WAV and MP3 are probably going to be the most common files, and you'll need to actually have your files already located and put into a folder so that way you can access them. Now, for your final piece, it's to record the sound. And also, here's where you can get your video. Just by the way, same process. You would have to have downloaded the video ahead of time. But for the last step to finish your piece, you'd record sound. When you hit record sound, you have the record button here. What I'm looking for there is for you to talk to the audience about what your subject, your content was. So what was the big idea? What standards that you were meeting, both content and the technology, i.e. the ISTE nets, to speak to the resources that you included and why you included those, and any other details that you think might be pertinent. So once you record it, so we'll just do this, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, save, and then it will come up with a box. You can see my cursor is blinking, so it's thinking. It'll finalize the recording so that way you can insert it. I would make another line somewhere after your last one and put final thoughts. Now you see right here where the recording is? Testing 1 2 3, testing 1. Okay, so it's going to put it over here. Again, I would include another subtopic, and it would say my final thoughts for my lesson using inspiration. The purpose of the inspiration is to show you that it's not just for a tool to have students follow your assignment, but it also is a great way to assess students. So those are the steps you need to do. Again, this is a very brief depiction of what you should do, but you kind of get the idea of where the tools are. The very last thing that you're going to do before you finalize this is go to File, and you see where it says Export. You can export it to, and it gives you the options. Microsoft Word is over here, and you want to include all of these things if you're going to do that. You can also send it to a presentation slide, or if you simply go up to Save and you hit Export to PDF, it'll also come up with the actual PDF type, and then it'll give you your title, and it gets the title based on the title you have here. So you need to either export it to a Word document or a PDF, along with then you need to do the Save As, and that's going to be the ISF, and I must have the ISF, otherwise I cannot grade the pieces that are built in, such as the documents. Those things don't open up in a Word or a PDF. They are all compressed, so they flatten out when you export those. So I have no way to grade those built-in pieces that you're required to do. So after you do that, you click Save, and then your folder is complete. So you'll be attaching through the assignment link your ISF, the Word or the PDF, and you'll also attach both of those to your website as well. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this assignment, and I look forward to reviewing everybody's final projects.